share this presentation if you are interested of giving some ideas to others. Maybe this would be or could be inspiring. So I'm going to talk about social justice and oppression and how we usually, because of what we have heard of and how we have been defined in those systematic way of putting ourselves down, we develop low self-esteem and perfectionism. If you have low self-esteem and the perfectionism, probably this would be something to listen to. I want you challenged after this presentation to think of where did you get those ideas? How did you get into a low self-esteem? And who said that you have low self-esteem? This is really interesting because we usually being told, oh, you have low self-esteem, and who is telling us? And this is very interesting, honestly. Let me tell you, I'm very excited about this because for years I have been seeing girls and boys and men and women in my practice of for counseling psychotherapy, and they are suffering from low self-esteem according to themselves. When we look at the situation, the context they are coming from, the family system they are coming from, the belief system they are coming from, the how they have been told who they are, then people understand that actually it is not their fault having this low self-esteem. So basically, I'm going to say that this is not your fault. Look at the system making you feel inferior. We are constantly bombarded by systems, people, institutions, and the social media telling us that we are less than. We need to become like others for in order to fill up the gap for feeling inferior. We are becoming or we get into that feeling of inferiority because of how the systems are telling us what to feel. So who said that you cannot? I mean, remember back then in your early ages, in your childhood, you were growing up. Who told you you cannot? I remember as a child, usually I was actually very much empowered by my family because of maybe I was privileged. I was the first child and first grandchild for my grandparents' system. However, I remember that at times you were being suppressed. I was being suppressed. Other children like myself being suppressed, saying, as much as we try to have a healthy conversation, asking, challenging our parents, they would say, you know what, you don't know anything. You are a child, keep quiet and just live your life, which is just go to school and don't say anything. So basically, what they told us back then, it has certainly effect into how we are feeling less than, low, and not able to, or kind of constantly telling us, oh, I cannot do this. So see who told you you cannot, and also see whom you are following. I mean, around ourselves we have various role models, right? Usually, all of us, we are looking up to someone. Who is your role model? And looking to how you're trying to be like them and why. And why we are trying to be like others. I mean, at times, having and positive role models, of course, if we are looking into someone who is doing better, they are successful. Of course, there are very positive effects here. I'm not saying that we are living in vacuum. However, how much of their success is actually kind of making you inferior or adding to your skill set or adding to your inspiration for doing better? Therefore, at times we are being said that because of low self-esteem, in my view, leads to a bunch of activities for being perfect. Once we are feeling low, we are trying to compensate all the time, trying to kind of show that we are bigger than, better than, and better than what we actually feel inside. So not necessarily better than others, better than how we feel inside, because we compare ourselves to ourselves, right? So at times we are, for that over exaggeration and overcompensation efforts we do, people call us perfectionists, or we are trying to project ourselves as a perfectionist person because we want to feel better and others feel that, oh, we are someone to respect, right? So what is that perfectionist mindset is coming from? Again, I want to say that is not your fault. If you're a perfectionist person, it's not your fault. You have learned it somewhere. And I guess the more you try, the less you feel satisfied, right? And the more you try again and again, and then feeling low, and the self is in pain because you have to constantly make efforts to show yourself that you are deserving everyone's respect and you are perfect, and therefore like others, therefore you want to create a social position for yourself. So look at the family system and your community. Who told you, who are perfectionists there, and who told you for by being perfectionist, by doing everything perfectly, you will be better? They made a mistake. It's not true. We are not better because we make better efforts. We can make better efforts by improving ourselves for imperfectly being perfect. We don't need to be perfect, because perfect to who? So, and look at the family system you're coming from and see who and what are the expectations on you, and how much you're trying to kind of define or act based on other people's expectations, and the roles they have given you. The role of being the perfect mother, perfect person, perfect teacher, perfect this and perfect that. And what keeps you from being a perfectionist? And if you're saying that, no, I'm not a perfectionist person, at times, I mean, we need to become better at what we are doing, however, not to the degree of overcompensation and trying to kind of being perfect, because we never get there. We never become a perfect person. The more we try, the less we feel satisfied. So what's the solution? What can we do? What should we do? I mean, defining our lifestyle. Who are you? What kind of lifestyle you have? I mean, in terms of instead of playing into other people's ground, um, try to define yourself, and um, avoid playing into others' way of living their life. I mean, let anyone who decide for whatever life they have, let them be yourself, to define your own lifestyle and teach others about who you are. Usually, if we are having a low self-esteem and trying to be perfect like others, then we are trying to kind of follow others, right? Because we want to show them that we are also good like them, because we are seeing them as goddess or whatever. However, teach people who you are, people who are critical of your way of living, people who make you feel inferior, people who are saying that you have to be perfect. Show them who you are, and you don't need to always play on their grounds, honestly. And look at your own ground rules. Find out what you want, what are the values you have, and don't be drawn to the advertisement of a perfect person. I mean, tons of we have around, right? So by being who you are, you need to pay attention to how perfectionist people make you feel. I mean, honestly, I am an imperfect person. and I lack a lot of resources, maybe a lot of skills. However, I'm so proud of what I have. I'm proud of the abilities, skills, and the resources I have to be able to do this. So, uh, being imperfect perfectly works for me. At times, being imperfect helps me to kind of look into the areas that I need to improve, constantly improving myself. That would be helpful. So therefore, putting yourself first and connect to the nature, connect to the whatever is that you come from, with the sources that connects you to the ground, and be grounded and offer compassion to those who try to make you perfect, yet try to be imperfect. Show, appreciate your imperfections, and say no and walk away at times. If people wants to make you perfect, and don't respect who you are, don't respect your way of handling life or lifestyle. So make yourself unavailable at times to those people. And toxic friends, talking about that. I mean, we respect and value everyone, right? We should. However, there are some people who are toxic. How they are toxic? Because they constantly want to make you feel less than by kind of bragging about who they are and lifestyle and what they know. I mean, it is good to listen to others. However, if you feel less than and you feel like those people, the toxic people, they usually don't listen to you. They just talk about themselves. So kind of feel about it and see what you can do about it, how you need to accept yourself. And actually, those who don't accept you for who you are, that's fine. They may choose to think this way or act this way, but you know what? You can do better by creating some boundaries here, and being assertive. You can be yourself. And then the habit of changing habit. This is where we kind of change ourselves to be the imperfect person who is constantly trying to improve ourselves, not perfect ourselves. Improving means learning, listening, feeling, thinking, being with others, learning again and failing, and getting up on our feet and our and trying again and again and again for learning the skills of being who we are. This is a skill of knowing who we are. So therefore, we need to change our habit. And habit of changing habit. This is actually a phrase that I remember from the Power of Focus. I think. It's a book by, I will come with the writer's name. I will put that in the caption. However, this is very interesting notion. Constantly changing ourselves and changing our habits will help our brain to develop new cells and feel better, right? So therefore, healthy confidence means maintaining calm and balance with who we are. We don't need to be like others. I mean, how now I want to kind of talk a little bit about why I think maintaining calm is. I mean, we are living in a world that people constantly, they are dragged or pushed into the notion of changing their faces, nose, lips, cheeks, whatever. The facial transformation that at times is really horrific, and especially in my community, I constantly see women and girls, because they are not happy with themselves. They're going with this flow of changing themselves, changing their faces, and that's where my conversation goes. We buy into the oppressive system that they told us we are not good enough. Therefore, we constantly need to improve ourselves, do something. do something in terms of changing who we are, changing our faces, nose, and stuff to be acceptable as the norms. And who are defining the norms? Those who are above us, and they are getting millions of dollars for defining the norms. So yes, we are buying into oppressive system that we are coming from when we think that we have low self-esteem, because they told us, they showed us how especially girls need to be lower than, and lower than boys. In my childhood, I remember there was a song we had that how girls are less than boys, etc. So this was being chanted in schools, and then somehow, yes, if they have told us that you're less than, therefore we feel less than once we are adult. That's where we need to understand the concept of social justice. If you're a counselor, mental health practitioner, anyone in helping position, if you're a doctor, psychiatrist, remember, girls coming to you with low self-esteem, and anxiety and depression, yes, medication is one way to help them. However, improve their self-esteem by telling them it is not their fault. They have been told to think this way, therefore they are acting this way. Once they learn to not act based on how the above system have told us to be, then we feel better. Therefore, uh, contemplate first and find your own way of handling life. If you, however, are being told that you have low self-esteem, think who is telling you. They have also been dragged into this system of feeling less than, therefore they are trying to tell you to get better, yet the low self-esteem and the challenges with mental health problem, obsessions, and phobias, and the OCDs about getting better, feeling better, looking better, all they are coming from the systems we are living in, that is constantly not accepting who we are, and they are trying to get us feel lower than. Therefore we need to listen to them according to their mindset. So that's what oppression and oppressive forces, they have told us things that we have believed in. So we need to be who we are if we want to feel better. And if you want to feel better, hopefully you need to change your way of thinking, and keep your sense of humor, and accept who you are, and always challenge the notion of who is telling you be like what. And this is why I think that this presentation is important, and I'm hoping that you take it and share it with others, especially girls and boys in teenage years. They are trying to look like the models they have seen in their communities. At times is good to, if they want to feel better. However, think about it. What ends up happening is that these boys and girls, they feel like they have to always feel inferior and constantly trying to do something to look like others. And this is going to stop them from being who they are. And this is going to stop them from developing a healthy mindset about themselves, and this is going to stop them from living a authentic and healthy life as an adult. So therefore, my message is to change the habits of how these systems are telling us who we should be. We should be human beings. We should be able to accept who we are, and cherish who we are and live with our challenges, differences, strength, and define it. And the ground rules is yours once you define your own lifestyle. Anyways, thank you for listening, and I'm hoping that you can share this video with others, and hopefully we can change the mindset of how we are usually um, how we are usually kind of bound into various aspects of oppression and social